Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for the GMAT. We have been solving GMAT math problems out of this book here, GMAT Review, the official guide, 13th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 275, and today is our lesson number 6, day number 6. Let's take a look at it. Question number 4. Question number 4 says, if the two floors in a certain building are 9 feet apart, how many steps are there in a set of stairs that extends from the first floor to the second floor of the building? So here we go. We are told that the first floor to second floor is 9 feet. First floor to second floor is 9 feet. The question simply is, how many steps? How many steps are going to be in the stairs to go from the first floor to second floor if the difference between their height is 9 feet? But the first statement tells us that each step is 3/4 feet high. Oh, there you go. That does the job. If each step, for example, to make it simpler, if they had told us that each step is 1 foot high, then there will be 9 steps because it's 9 feet. You just divide by the height of the steps. There are 9 feet altogether, and there are 3/4 of each step is 3/4 of a foot. Whatever that quantity is, that's how many steps that we have. So the first statement by itself does do the job. Let's put down here A, D, B, C, E. A, D, B, C, E. First statement by itself does the job, therefore the answer cannot be B, C, or E. It's got to be either A or D. Let's look at second statement. If I lost you just now as to what I did here, A, D, B, C, E, make sure that you watch the intro. Just type in GMAT data sufficiency introduction and watch that video. Make sure you understand it and make sure that you make that routine your habit. There is a certain routine that I explained there. There is a certain strategy that I explained there. Make sure that it becomes your second nature. Statement number 2. Each step is 1 foot wide. Oh well, it's 1 foot wide. That just tells us that it's 1 foot wide. We need to know how high it is. We need to know this distance. How much distance do I travel vertically every time I take a step? In order for us to be able to answer how many steps there are in two floors which are 9 feet apart, we need to know this height, which is what the first statement gave us. Second statement doesn't do anything. Knowing how wide the step is, it's not going to tell us how many steps there are. This is a worthless information. It doesn't do any good. The answer is A. It's not D. The answer is A. Let's look at question number 5. Number enrolled in chemistry and biology versus number enrolled in neither. I think the question is asking which one is bigger, which quantity is bigger. Question number 5. In college X, the number of students enrolled in both chemistry course and biology course is how much less than the number of students enrolled in neither. So that's what it is. They want us to compare the number of students enrolled in chemistry and biology versus the number of students enrolled in neither. Let's look at what the first statement tells us. Let's put down here A, D, B, C, E. The first statement tells us there are 60 in chemistry. The first statement tells us that there are 60 in chemistry. Well, knowing that there are 60 students in the chemistry, does that answer us? Does it enable us to figure out which quantity is bigger, the number of students enrolled in both, number of students enrolled in both chemistry and biology versus the number of students enrolled in neither. Simply knowing how many there are in chemistry doesn't do the job. We don't know how many are taking biology, we don't know how many of them are taking in both, and we do not know how many are taking neither. It doesn't do anything. Statement 1 by itself is not enough, which means the answer cannot be A, it cannot be D. It's got to be either B, C, or E. Let's look at second statement. Second statement tells us that there are 85 in biology. There are 85 in biology. Does the second statement by itself do anything? No, it does not. Same exact situation as the first statement. Simply knowing how many there are in biology is not going to tell us how many there are in chemistry. It's not going to tell us how many of them are taking both courses, biology and chemistry, and it's not going to tell us how many of them are taking neither. It doesn't do the job by itself, which means answer cannot be B. Let's put them together. Well, ask ourselves, by putting these bits of information together, now we know there are 60 students who are taking chemistry, there are 85 who are taking biology. Are we able to figure out these quantities? Can we tell how many of them are taking neither, for one thing? The answer is no, we cannot tell how many of them are taking neither, simply knowing the fact that 60 of them are taking chemistry and 85 of them are taking biology. That does not enable us to ascertain how many of them are taking neither, to say nothing of the fact that we still have to figure out this quantity. But even if we could figure out that quantity, even if we could figure out how many of them are taking both, which we cannot here, all we know is that 60 of them are taking chemistry, 85 of them are taking biology. These two bits of information does not tell us how many of them are taking both. But even if we did know that part, even if we did know this part, it doesn't alter the fact that we still do not know how many of them are taking neither. Putting two of them together doesn't do anything. The answer is E. The answer is E. What I'm going to do now is to show you this situation in a Venn diagram. What the question is asking is this. In the Venn diagram, this is how we show it. Let's put down chemistry and biology. Well, the first statement tells us that 60 of them are taking chemistry. Second statement tells us 85 of them are taking biology. We do not know how many of them are taking both. If it turns out that 10 of them are taking both, then this will become 75 and this will become 50. 10 will taking both. That will tell, if there was any way of figuring it out how many of them are taking both, the answer still would have been E, because there is no way of knowing how many of them are taking neither. How many of the students are taking neither chemistry nor biology? There is no way of knowing that, even if we knew how many of them were taking both, which we do not actually. So this is just the two worthless bits of information. It doesn't do anything. The answer is E. Alright? I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.